3 kilometers. Turn right, Kangaroo Ground, St Andrews Road, Larrick Lane. Turn left. Turn right, Wilson Street. Continue straight. Creek Road, then destination on the right. Perform a U-turn when possible.
Lovely.
In 130 meters, at the roundabout, continue straight, Badger Creek Road.
Shannon May.
We already bought a ticket online.
Awesome. So we just need to scan the
Do you have your
What are they? Bên đây phải là có con cái gì đà điểu à?
The cassowary play this amazing role with our rainforest. They eat all these beautiful fruits, they swallow them whole, so the seeds are intact, and then they poop them out the other end and help to grow a new rainforest.
We don't need to be here.
There's another one that way. Emo. That's the emo place. Yeah, emo.
Okay, guys.
Are you ready? I'll be back. Okay. But we do have Skippy appearing at our kangaroo country.
Skippy the kangaroo somehow. Rồi tọt cái điện thoại vào rồi. Trên cây á. Chưa. Cô la.
Children followed Pharaoh Whiteship. The thirsty children picked up small grey rocks from Badger Creek and tried to knock the tunnels down so they could get some water. They could knock the tunnels down.
Good grip on. Go for a climb.
They've done this so well though to be like that route.
Then over the bridge, but I don't know exactly where it goes.
Yeah, but it's still because I've got $20 capital. I can still sell the other one.
So Jess, we're now here. We can go over the bridge, or we can go right here to the fast track, which takes us around to the reptile pavilion and all that.
Yeah, well, you'd want to hope so.
mời các bạn đến với sở thú.
Ừ.
Ben, my Ben? Yeah, he's in the wallaby paddock again. I can't tell which one. I don't know anymore.
You need to use your words, Aaron, not...
Okay, play on.
This way, girls. We're missing one. Oh, no, it's Frank. Up there. Come on.
Oh, yeah. But don't touch me, mate. Yeah, that's alright. She's next to me.
And there's also, look up there,
Yeah.
there's another bird.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a bronze.
No, that's the nest. No, that is the nest. Hey Mum, they get their own tap shower.
They do, don't they?
Our next exhibit, they have western grey kangaroos. Does anyone want to guess, if you haven't been there already, don't cheat, what colour they are?
Yellow.
They're not yellow, no. They're brown. Makes perfect sense, doesn't it? The eastern greys. Now, all these animals, they are macropods. So, macropods go from that size up into, well, bigger than that. He's still quite small. And with that name, you can actually work out what it means. So macropod. Anyone want to take a guess at what that word means? I see a macro lens. Large. Pod? Pod. Macropods are very, very diverse. Firstly, they are all marsupials. So that means every animal has a joey. but that's kind of where they stop. They like to tease my brain. Every single animal has a short joey being pregnant, but these guys then have a joey in their pouch. Now, depending on where science is and what they're thinking at the time, they actually say marsupials is a better way of reproduction than what ours is. When you're 9 months pregnant, it's really hard to move around, hard to get up off the couch, it's hard to eat, it's hard to breathe, it's hard to do everything. Can you imagine doing all that and running away from a predator? It would be very, very difficult. With a kangaroo, it is very easy for them to eject the joey out of their pouch and keep moving on. The joey obviously will not be found again, but mum will go on to fight and live another day. She can then reproduce again. Now, red kangaroos, they are quite amazing. She has the ability, which I don't know if she does at the moment, to maintain 4 lives at once until she breeds and gives birth again. So it could sit there for 6 months. Usually sits there a little bit longer than that. The joey inhabits.
Oh, the water. The water, what? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. There's one hiding in that log over there. That would be the scrum pipe, and then this would be the carpet pipe. Seems fairly large.
It's a real like lizard. Mum, one of these was in our building. So beautiful. This is before I came to Oregon.
Mesmerized by Vixen over here.
Oh, hello. I don't think you're in.
I don't think amongst them is a mistake.
Oh, the big one.
Exactly what you're saying.
Big one.
Was it long?
I think that lizard is meant to be in here.
Okay. Alright, see ya. I mean, I don't think it's going to get eaten. Same little stuff there.
It's the same, so they don't know where to
climbing.
Predators don't know where to attack.
And there's the escape path.
At least ones aren't that great for escaping.
Oh, can't see the other one.
Tiny is in there. Yeah, I always know you with something actually. And your dad said the light place is open. Yeah, let's do it. Well, do you want to go and get a seat in the flight maybe? Yes. Flight over
It's just showing the snakes in the mouth.
We're going for a kind of health-friendly skin spiel.
I will, and we won't get mixed up. Do you want to move out of the way so this man can take a photo, Doug?
Hop out, yeah.
And then we'll get one. Okay. Alright.
Go in front of it. Sonny, do you want a photo?
I'm thinking of the cleaning. So hold that one out. So hold it like that. And put the food in there.
You're scared now, are you?
No, she doesn't want to. She'll take it off your hand.
Ah, might be.
Maybe it's the black. Competition.
Want to go have a little bit closer now?
Yellow crest.
Yeah.
It's a pet she fly away. Fortunately.
Yine yani da. Kodayı da yapıyorum. Tatilci mi olur?
Or maybe I'll hop to this bird and see.
That's where the fan is.
He circled and circled. He looked down and saw there was nothing.
We'll go.
Trees, mountains and animals, including Mindy the snake, Ingalinga the echidna, and Wang the crow.
Did Bunjil like any other birds?
Bunjil made a Tasman rainbow of their own colours and turned into a beautiful bird. Imagination and wonder.
For over 60,000 years, many plants, animals and people have shared this land, but only a few of them are capable of flight.
Today it's our privilege to share with you some of the extra adaptations of both parrots and birds of prey. Discover one of the changes to make in life. Here somewhere. Was there? Yeah, here he is. This is River. River is a black kite, and black kites are birds of prey, but what is a bird of prey? Put very simply, a bird of prey can be any bird that feeds on other animals, so things like kookaburras, magpies, They're birds of prey. But river here is a specialised claws we call talons, and very powerful feet which they use to catch and kill their prey. And kites, like river here, are amazing aerial hunters. They hunt birds and insects just like that. They'll also hunt on the ground, so they take things like small mammals and reptiles which scurry along the ground. When it comes to adapting to an ever-changing world, these black kites are spectacularly successful. So successful, in fact, they've learned to live alongside people and take advantage of our habits and our behaviours. And the further north you go in Australia, the more likely it is. Technology didn't enjoy it very much either. It has decided to die on us. We will do our best to keep it working, so fingers crossed. Now, I was saying these black kites have done really well out of changes. They're one of the birds that actually live quite close by to people, and the further north you go in Australia, the more likely it is you're going to see large numbers of black kites hanging around abattoirs, fishing ports, rubbish dumps, places where they can find any little meat scraps that have been left behind. And he eats it as he's flying around. It's what we call feeding on the wing, and it's a really energy efficient way of feeding. Now, River's done a pretty good job out here. I'm going to give River one last. This is a sulphur-crested cockatoo. His name is Quasi. Now, sulphur-crested cockatoos are another one of the bird species that have made a real success out of sharing the environment with people. Very intelligent and popular birds. They're often seen in large, noisy social flocks. A really familiar sight in the Australian landscape. I'm sure most of you have seen them already. If you haven't, you probably will. You can see them in parks, gardens, golf courses, sometimes even in our busy city streets. But cockatoos, like Quasi there, they can live longer than most of us, up to 100 years. Wow. Just think about this, but can you imagine Australia without them? It's vital for all animals out there to be able to adapt in some way to be able to survive in the wild. The first two birds have done that really well. The next bird is a little bit different. It's one of our rarer birds here in Australia. It's actually Australia's third largest raptor. They spend a lot of time on the ground, and they will hunt while they're on the ground. So they're hunting things like the eggs of our ground nesting birds, which includes lots and lots of different species, things like brolgas and swans. It also includes our largest bird of all, the emu. So this is Beatrice. Thanks for joining us. You can see she's very comfortable coordinating on the ground. Now they are very well known for hunting emu eggs, but the egg of an emu is too big for a bird like this to pick up in their feet or break with their beaks. So they developed this really special behaviour to get into it. And I'm hoping Beatrice will show us how to break into an emu egg. I just happen to have one right here. It's a pretty big egg, isn't it? Yeah, someone got it right. Yes. It is a big egg. Not a trick question. Now all I need to do is place that egg on the ground. Beatrice hopefully is going to see that and realise she's got a little bit of work to do this today. She's going to come over and show us how to break it open. Now she knows she can't use it. It's just too big. She needs a special tool called a rock. I'm going to place the rock on the ground and she'll do the rest. Did you see the rock? You didn't see the rock today. Sorry, that was a bad throw. Here you go. Here's your rock. So she picks the rock up, carries it to the egg, lines it up, and smacks the first go. There you go. How about a big round of applause for that? Well done. Now some of you might think that's a trick that we taught her. Hey, that's your egg, not the leg. Okay? Now, some of you might think that we actually taught her how to do that. We didn't do that. It's what we call an instinct or a natural adaptive skill. All black-crested buzzards just know how to break open emu eggs. So it's a pretty amazing behaviour because of that. There's only one other bird in the eggs in exactly the same way. But I think you all agree, Beatrice here has done a fantastic job for us today.
Colourful birds, and I think you'll all agree when he comes out here, he's one of the most colourful here in Australia. Now, these birds live in very specific parts of the rainforest, the boys and the girls. Whoa. We're going to have a look at the boy today. Here he comes. This is Les, and close for you. Check out the beautiful colours under his wings. Wow. And have a look at that lovely green and blue colour up top. Isn't he stunning? Hi, Les. Great job, buddy. Alright, so the boys and the girls look really different. The girls are actually bright red and blue in colour. Very, very different from what you see Les here. And that's because they play different roles in their environment. So the boys, like Les, actually spend most of their time in the very top of the rainforest canopy. And that's where they camouflage against the bright green leaves and the bright fruits and flowers. It's easy to see how Les would disappear, yeah, amongst those bright green leaves. Well, the girls, they live a bit lower in the rainforest, so for 8 or 9 months of the year, we're very lucky here in Australia to have beautiful coloured birds, and it's lovely to see how some of the most red-tailed black cockatoo, very large parrot, and as you can imagine, needs a big hollow to survive. Here's another one of those parrots that needs big tree hollows. This is a Major Mitchell or pink cockatoo. These guys are known as some of the most beautiful parrots in all of the world. It's fairly easy to see why. He's a stunning boy. Also, when Mr. Major lands up there on the stag, I want you to have a look at that crest. It is giving quasi... He's not going to. He's attacking it. I hope you all got a look the first time. Big hollows to survive in the wild, and some of their hollows can take 200 years to form. That's a really long time for a house to form in the wild, and so it's really important that we keep our trees in the ground. Now,
hello, have you all met Les before? This is Les. I got it. You got it? All right. If you stay where you are and not walk in front of him, I can guarantee you'll be okay. He hasn't hit anyone today. All right. Now, while Timber is out here, what I want you to do is look at the adaptations that owls have to be very successful at night time. One of them is really obvious. You'll see he has these amazingly large forward-facing eyes. Now, owls have such good vision that they see 35 times better than you and I. Wow. They also have spectacular hearing. Owls have such accurate hearing that they can pinpoint and catch their prey without even having to see it. So they are superbly adapted for the night time. You might notice if you see Timber sitting still at any stage, you'll notice he turns his head around quite a lot. He flicks his head backwards and forwards all the time. Now, sometimes people think that owls can turn their heads all the way around. They can't do that, but they can turn their heads a lot further than you and I, up to 270 degrees. A long way around, allows them to spot anything that's sitting in behind them. Good. You picked a good spot catching mice. In fact, a pair of barn owls out there in the wild are thought to catch up to about 2,000 mice a year. That helps us keep down those rodent numbers, and barn owls are actually one of the birds that are doing really well out there in the wild. But barking owls like Timber here, unfortunately they're not doing so well at all. Barking owls here in Victoria are a threatened species. We only have around about 50 pairs left. Not many at all, so we need to start looking after the environment a lot better to keep beautiful for you too. If you've got any kids with you, it's also important to just make sure the kids are sitting down and staying with mum and dad if that's possible. This birdie's a big bird. He does need a lot of space to get around. So if you can do those two things for me, that would be really good. Anybody else want to get up, or are you all happy where you are at the moment? All happy? Good. In fact, the reason for that is because he is an old wedge-tailed eagle, and wedge-tailed eagles get darker and darker as they get older and older. Jess here, believe it or not, is eagle's diet, but they'll also hunt other things, other birds, reptiles, and they're actually capable of hunting mammals up to the size of an adult wallaby all by themselves. They are incredibly powerful hunters for their size. They're also territorial, and occasionally here at Healesville we do see a wild pair of wedge-tailed eagles that thinks this patch of sky is part of their territory, and they do fly too. When he does land up here, you'll notice he'll fan his tail out. It's much easier if you fly, mate. There. Hop up here. No? You made it harder for yourself by coming closer. Oh, all right. Yeah, thanks for the round of applause. Good work. We're going to see if we can get him to head off home. He's done a pretty good job out here in the heat. Another round of applause. Oh, it was a tough one today. Real challenges, and they do need a helping hand from you. If you can change your ways to help protect trees for habitat, you're not just helping these beautiful birds, but a whole lot of other wildlife right around Australia.
And year. So even more reason to text the number WIPE to the bottom of the banner and start using recycled toilet paper at home.
Thanks for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed Spirits of the Sky. Thank you.